Thank you.
Mr. Moolenaar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Madam Secretary. Food production, production agriculture is vital for our country. It's vital for Michigan and for my constituents. You talked about earlier about the economic engine, small businesses. You know, in rural America, agriculture is the economic engine, and these family farmers are vital. Many of the farmers, the small farm operators in my district, use the H-2A program. Are you familiar with that program? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, the Department of Labor continues to hurt the work they do to feed Michigan and our country. For 10 straight years, the department has mandated adverse effect wage rate increases that outpace inflation. I'm hearing from fifth and sixth generation farmers that they may only have 1 or 2 years left before they are forced to leave the business. Even H-2A workers are concerned about the increases because they know their job will be lost if the farm goes out of business. That's why I introduced the Supporting Farm Operations Act to pause the AEWR increases and help these farms stay open. While this wage freeze would give farmers some sense of stability, there's also the problem with the flawed methodology used to calculate AEWR. Madam Secretary, I noticed in your remarks you didn't mention meeting with small farm operators. Have you met with farmers about this issue?
Thank you, Congressman. I want to acknowledge the importance of the program. I have certainly heard from many about why why the H-2A program is so important for them to meet their workforce needs. Part of the H-2A program is to make sure that H-2A workers do not undercut the ability for workers in the United States already to do the jobs and to be paid a wage.
I'm familiar with the program, and I think there are good safeguards to ensure that we aren't in any way forcing Americans out of jobs. But this is a matter of the Biden administration raising the costs on these family farmers to the point where these mandated Department of Labor increases are at risk of putting them out of business. And so I'm wondering if you've heard about that concern.
Yes. As you know, the department has completed a rule on that, and so as with all of our rules, we invite, seek out, and take input. So yes, I mean it is a space in which, as you say, we both need to help employers meet their workforce needs, and we need to ensure that the safeguards are in place.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, but I guess my question is, there are negative consequences to that rule, forcing family farms out of business. And my question is, are these intended consequences or unintended consequences with this policy? Because what I'm hearing you say is you've heard the message and you're not concerned about it.
Well, Congressman, I've also met with some of your colleagues about this, and I want to make the same offer to you, which is I'm happy to have my team come and talk to farmers who are affected by this to understand the impact of the rule. The rule that we did actually affected a very narrow, it was a very narrow part of how AEWR is used.
Well, let me just say, in my district, it is having a huge effect when it comes to people growing cherries, apples, asparagus, carrots. I mean, across the board, people growing fruit and vegetables are affected by this, and they need desperate relief. I guess the question is, could you actually on your own pause this increase to give them some time to get back on their feet?
Let me say this, Congressman. I am happy to have our staff work together on what they need, and in addition to what I responded to earlier with the chairman's question about how we engage with small businesses, including small farms, and any rules that affect them
I'll
at the
take you
front
up on
end.
that.
We also do compliance assistance
Okay.
across all of our agencies, and this might be an area where that could be.
Well, I'll take you up on that. I guess one last question. Secretary Vilsack claimed that the Farm Labor Survey is an accurate and appropriate vehicle to set the AWR. Your own Bureau of Labor Statistics data show that in Michigan, the general farm worker wage is $2 less than the Farm Labor Survey rate. How do you explain setting the AWR based on the agriculture, the Farm Labor Survey, when your own data show that it's $2 less?
Well, so Congressman, I have tremendous respect, obviously, for my colleague, Secretary Vilsack, and it is true that our AWR is based on their survey. My understanding of how H-2A, the H-2A guardrails is that we have to ensure that an H-2A wage is not less than, not just the AWR, but other, the prevailing wage, a collective bargained wage. There are, the federal minimum wage. So it's the highest of those things.
Mr. Chairman, just one last question.
Yep, real quick.
All right. Well, just so you're aware, in Michigan, it's $18.50 an hour, which is vastly above any of the rates you were talking about. Often housing is provided and transportation is provided. So in my view, that far exceeds anything that you're comparing it to.
I'm very happy to follow up with you on this, Congressman.
Thank you.